People take positions not based on the truth, but based on what a personal agenda they are pursuing. So I'll be the first one to give credit to this government for removing the fuel subsidy, which some of us started calling for from the very first economic summit over 30 years ago. But the same president must take the blame for sabotaging the efforts to remove the fuel subsidy in the past. Across all the local governments of Nigeria, across every state government and at the federal level, the real test is what is being done with that revenue in their hands. Is that revenue supposed to be used to fuel 400 cars to escort the president to the airport and burn all the revenue in the process? Is that what you did it for? Let me tell you what the correct thing was. The real difficulty, the real action, the real results was to help to eliminate poverty. I believe in speaking the truth all the time. So you're quoting me in 2012. You can quote me in 2025. The issues will not change. I'm not one of those people when you're out of government, you fight against fuel subsidy. When you're in government, you advocate fuel subsidy. That's part of Nigeria's and Africa's problem. People take positions not based on the truth, but based on what a personal agenda they are pursuing. So I'll be the first one to give credit to this government for removing the fuel subsidy, which some of us started calling for from the very first economic summit over 30 years ago. But the same president must take the blame for sabotaging the efforts to remove the fuel subsidy in the past, in 2012. The speeches are there. So, but you know, they say it's the best time to have planted a tree was 25 years ago. The second best time is now. So let's focus on the now. The important thing is that the government has done the correct thing in terms of removing an unaffordable subsidy. The same government has done the correct thing which has been done before to give us what I will consider to be largely market-determined exchange rates, which gives you some exchange rates stability. So you ask me what would I have done differently? That question shows that, so I think anybody with the right brain on his head would have done those two things. But guess what? How long does it take to do those things? I can mention previous central bank governors. On a particular day, Abdul Kadir Ahmed moved the exchange rate from 1 to 1 to 4 to 1. Gave us market-determined exchange rates. On a different day, the exchange rate moved from 8 to 1 to 18 to 1, and we had equilibrium. Under past CBN governors like my friend here, we had market-determined exchange rates largely. So that's a one-day action. You bite the bullets on the first day. What differentiates you thereafter is your subsequent actions. So those measures improve fiscal balance. They give all three tiers of government so much more revenue. And that's where the problem starts. What is the point of giving the thief more revenue if he's only going to steal it? So across all the local governments of Nigeria, across every state government and at the federal level, the real test is what is being done with that revenue in their hands. Is that revenue supposed to be used to fuel 400 cars to escort the president to the airport and burn all the revenue in the process? Is that what you did it for? Let me tell you what the correct thing was. The real difficulty, the real action, the real results was to help to eliminate poverty, was to get the economy functioning. As soon as you did those two things, which could be done, each of them, it takes a day, an announcement, it's your subsequent actions. When the economic summit turned 25 years, I was in this same room. I recommended that the government then should remove fuel subsidy. I also said, but as soon as you do it, the following day, even the day before, start distributing cash to the poorest Nigerians. They all have names. The national ID card is a payment-enabled instrument. If you give every poor person in Nigeria, poor adults, 5,000 naira, and you remove subsidy, for a man who was getting zero, he's just received 5,000. So, but if you remove the subsidy, The finance minister is right. They gave, I think it was 8 million people have received transfers. What is 8 million out of 230 million? That's where the problem is. There are countries where when they did their cash transfers, it was to all the poor people in the country immediately. So I'm answering your question only, what should have been done differently? I'm not saying it's achievable in 24 hours, but these are the things that have caused the pain. And all this talk about, oh, after the pain comes the gain. It is true if after the pain, you carry out all the other supporting reforms to improve efficiency, improve government spending. People talked about trying to implement, to eliminate wastage and so on. But if after the pain, what you do is to continue reckless spending that is going on all over the nation, then that pain can go on forever. So it's not true that gain follows pain. Gain follows pain only if you are doing the right things after putting the pain in place. And it's the same too with the exchange rate. So now, we have an economic system. I'll be fair. This economy works very well for people who are friends of the government because they can invest, and when the obstacles come, they have the clout to negotiate their way through all those obstacles. But we want an economy where you don't need to know the government to invest here and do business. Now, I'm not criticizing this government. This was the challenge that any and every government that took those measures was supposed to address immediately after. So I can clap for you for market determined exchange rates. I can clap for you for removing fuel subsidy. Those are one-day actions. If you want me to keep on clapping for you, show me the rest of your actions after those two things. Because those are the things that make the big difference between investor confidence, creating an environment where people feel they can invest, you're looking after the poor, and all the supportive things that were required. So I will just stop there, but let me just warn you, Mr. Moderator. So on this panel, I'm the oldest person. So it doesn't matter what you ask me, I will answer what I want to answer. Thank you.
Okay. All right, sir. I will let you. Let me come to this side then. Thank you, Mr. Atedo Peterside. I have great respect.
And I'm happy that the governor walked in to Abia State. See, there's a big mistake we are making when we're talking about reforms. People think it's about macro policy, central banking, finance. The number one difference is sincerity. Did the leader come to serve or did he come to steal? The biggest threat to economic reform in Nigeria in my entire adult life have been two things: corruption and state capture. So when the Emir of Kano is saying that you're advising people, listen, I confess, Papayo Sanyim was there. In Jonathan's government, I know Jonathan would like me saying it. I was on the economic team. Half the time, when I was arguing about what should be done for the economy and for Nigeria, people in the villa told me to my hearing, you see, if we listen to everything Atedo is saying, we came in here poor, we will leave poor. He's saying these things because he already has money. So it's not that people don't know the correct things. Let's not deceive ourselves. Corruption and state capture is driving people to pursue policies that give them a chance to capture an increasing slice of what belongs to everybody for themselves. So they are deliberately, so even when the Emir of Kano goes to advise, he said, the former president Buhari, and he leaves, there are people around him who know why they want a different policy. And it's about state capture and corruption. Let's call a spade a spade. The biggest difference between, I'm told by those from Abia, I'm not from your state, but Nigeria is an open society. People from Abia tell me that the biggest difference between this governor and the past, he's the only one that came to serve. I don't know whether it's true or not, but let's just imagine it is true. So if somebody did not come to serve, and you're talking about fiscal and monetary reform, the guy came to steal. So forget it. As he increased the revenue for everybody, he hijacks the bulk of it. Haven't we seen governors in this current regime who have taken the extra revenue to go and buy luxury SUVs for MS and so on? Is that what the revenue is for? I'm not saying you're a beneficiary. So don't be afraid. So the point I'm making is that, and the finance minister is not the one in charge. He cannot stop a governor from taking the increased revenue from all these good measures and misusing it. These are some of these states. Education they met there is a disaster. In the first 2 years hence, they've done nothing to improve education, but they bought luxury SUVs for all kinds of people. So it's about state capture and corruption. Did somebody come to serve? If you didn't come to serve, forget it. Now, it's not a Nigerian problem. All over Africa, including, I can maybe not name too many countries, but many of the leaders did not come to serve. They came to capture what belongs to everybody. That's for the common good, for themselves and a narrow elite. Until we solve that problem, we will remain in this stew. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Your final word on the issue of developing the